Now I'm very excited to welcome back the most experienced proxy in all of Las Vegas from footballcontest.com, Mr. Vegas Matty. You can follow him on Twitter at Vegas_Matty. This segment is being brought to you by Circa Sports. The biggest pro football overlays in Vegas are back with 12 million in guaranteed prizes only at Circa Sports. These contests have two ways to win and no rake. The payback is massive. Play Circa Sports and select one team each week with no point spread on the Circa Millions and taking the big money with Circa Survivor. Enter in Vegas, play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com. Matty, how you doing, my man? I'm guessing things are starting to get busy. Summer's over.
They are. Football's almost here. We're in week 2 of the preseason, or what is it? Week 2, week 3. There's only 3 weeks, right? So this is when we should expect to see some starters in there, I would think. It's getting real.
Yeah, some people do their dress rehearsal week 2. Some people will do the week 3, and then there's a week in between.
Right.
I believe where we'll give them an extra buy and give them extra time to make cuts or actually practice. I don't even know when the last cut is, but I'm sure teams are already starting to delve into that. But man, no, it's exciting. This time of year, I love it. Obviously, summer's about over for us, but technically it goes on for another month. But football season means fall for me, and this is the funnest stuff for me. I love the contest, Matty, and it's just
You're not the only one, but
I'm not the only one. It's growing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. But even though you're not like putting money on the games, it's just the thought process and the rush that you get just thinking about who's going to be the best 5 picks you got. I mean, on a weekly basis, it's so fun. And plus, even if you're not in the running to win it, you can still win those quarterly. So you're playing all year, man. Isn't it the greatest?
It is. It's awesome. I mean, there's $300,000 every quarter in the Circa Millions, including $25,000 to the worst record. So, I mean, you got something to play for no matter what. The Westgate Super Contest, their big Super Contest weekend is this weekend. Friday and Saturday are most of the festivities taking place then. And they've got 11 in-season bonuses. They switch things up even more so that there's more ways to win, try to make themselves a little different than the Circa Million. They're not going to have the guaranteed prize pool for the overall results. But, I mean, if you can win 20, 30, 40, 50,000 for doing well over 3, 6, 9 weeks, I mean, why not enter that? Throw $1,000 into that one as well.
Absolutely. And, it's great that these are competing against each other because it just makes each other better. They have to fight now. And I mean, the rate kind of disappeared within the last 2 or 3 years. So it's a great thing for us. And especially if there is an overlay, especially in a guaranteed contest like the Circa, that's when you're going to go have a better chance of positive EV, at least in the contest, where you're making more money if you do well. Than people are putting in. That's important. Could you remind our listeners a little bit on what you do exactly at Football Contest and how you got started?
Sure. I mean, we're basically the middleman between you, the contestant, and the sports book. So what you do is you come and meet with us in Vegas, get signed up for these football contests, and then you hand off the submission kind of responsibility to us. So you need to be in the state of Nevada to make the picks every week, or you need to have a proxy to do it for you. So that's where we come in. We go to the sports books. We're there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 days a week, submitting the picks at the kiosks. And basically that's it. I mean, it's really not too complicated or anything like that. We let the heavy lifting to you, really, and we want you to just concentrate on handicapping the games and try to go 5-0 every week, and then we'll take care of the rest. We just want you to be stress-free as far as getting your picks in, and that's why we've been the most highly recommended proxy service ever since Tony, my partner Tony in law, we started working together in 2009. So we're working on our 14th season together. We've seen these contests grow from 300 entries in the Super Contest to over 3,000. Now they're kind of fighting to get back over 2,000 again post-COVID. And then you've seen the Circa Million go from 1,000 entries all the way up over 4,000 last year, and hopefully they'll get close to that 6,000 that they need to avoid the overlay, so Derek doesn't have to shell out any more money out of his pocket this year. But right now they're projected at about, I think, somewhere between 4,200 and 4,500. So that would leave them, with a pretty good size overlay still. But we'll see what happens. These last few weeks are key.
They are key. And well, the Circa definitely wants to promote it. I'll be over there podcasting for the Circa. Hoping to see you there too. I'm sure I will.
Well, I'll be there. Yeah.
might even be a surprise guest coming on as well. But now we're going to talk about the Circa contest next weekend. It's going to be a massive sign-up weekend. And, it's funny, as a player, you're actually praying for that nobody signs up.
Right.
At least amount of competition, but at the same time, it's just it doesn't matter. You're playing.
Well, yeah, it kind of goes both ways. For the Circa Million, you just want the entries to stop because there is guaranteed prize money. But other contests like the Super Contest and the Golden Nugget Ultimate Football Challenge, which is a combination of college and pro football, basically counting on the entries to come in because they're creating the prize pool. The lower the entries, the lower the prize pool. So the only thing that's guaranteed in the Super Contest are those in-season contests, and I think that's important for everyone to know that those are set at certain amounts. They're going to pay those out no matter what every 3, 6, 9 weeks. It's the bigger prize pool that's really affected by what they decide to do with the more in-season contests. Like last year, I was looking at the numbers, and I think the Super Contest paid out $335,000 for the winner, which is the lowest it's been in even in 2020, it paid out $435,000 to the winner. So the $330,000 for the winner is the lowest it's been in a long, long time. So, but they also had those in-season contests, so they paid those out. And I think if you're looking to get into more of those smaller contests, the Super Contest is definitely still worth getting in. And why not do both? Why not do the Circa Sports Million for the bigger payouts in the quarters and for the bigger overall prize pool, but then do the Westgate Super Contest to get into those smaller contests that you can cash by going 13-2, 14-1 on a 3-week kind of thing, and you end up winning $30,000-$40,000. That's not bad at all either.
No, it's not. Plus, you can straddle your plays a little bit. Sometimes you might like only 3 or 4 games for real against the spread come Saturday when you want to make your picks, but you have about 5 or 6 maybes. So maybe you put a couple maybes on one, a couple maybes on the other, and kind of balance it out like that. And maybe you're going to hit on one mini contest, or maybe one just completely builds up, and you keep focus on that. You have a terrible start to a quarter, you might want to go for the booby prize, but
that booby prize in the quarter, $25,000 for having the worst record over a 4 or 5 week period. That's not bad either. So I mean, there's so many different ways to win in these contests, and I think that's what makes them so great. It's just a matter of can you put the right 3 weeks together? You don't want to have like 1 week and 1 3-week contest, and then the next couple of good weeks you have are on the next one. You want to be able to obviously put them together in a consecutive way, and that's really the hardest thing, is to string them together on a hot streak like that, where you can cash some money.
All right, sounds good. So it sounds like the 2 Circa Survivor, Circa Millions, and the Westgate Super Contest are the 3 biggest in Vegas.
Those are the 3 biggest for sure. And the Survivor is going to be probably the biggest football contest of all time this year. I mean, they're projecting over 7,000 entries right now. At one point, it was like 8,000. So I think they're right in the middle, about 7,500. That's what Jeff Benson told me yesterday, is that the projection for that contest is 7,500, which means $7.5 million in the Survivor pool. And then you're talking maybe an extra $1 million for somebody who gets that $1 million bonus. And we were fortunate enough to get a Survivor winner last year, Billy Chippis, and his on top 24/7 entry won over $1.5 million. So it definitely can be done. I think that's the biggest difference between the first 2 years in the Survivor contest. After the first year, when 35 people tied and their checks were $70,000 apiece, people might have been like, well, I mean, I'm going to fight this hard to go unbeaten for the whole season and only get 70 grand. Still not bad. But then last year you saw only 5 people make it to the end. And obviously the less people, the bigger the payout. So, maybe this year we'll see 2 or 3 people. I don't know. I mean, it's just the
Well, they
Survivor
say,
is so ruthless, and there's so many people. I think just because of the sheer number of entries, it's almost impossible to see anyone busting, somewhere before that week 18. And again, you have 2 extra weeks in the Circus Survivor. You've got the Thanksgiving week and the Christmas week, so you have to go 20-0 to win that one, most likely.
right. Well, you do. Most, and with all these entries, I would say you do. Now, they did fix that whole a bunch of people winning by having a very short week on Thanksgiving and a very short week on Christmas, where there's like 3 games apiece, and you have to treat that as a separate week. Some
Right.
people like that, some people don't. But
yeah, they're sticking with it. They got to try to chop the people out. It works every year. It's the Cowboys have killed people on Thanksgiving the first couple years, and maybe we'll see what happens this year. But yeah, I mean, they work hard to try to knock people out, and it's just you kind of rely on the teams and the upsets. We'll see. Even I've had a lot of clients say this week 1 is no cakewalk either. So if I can get through week 1, you get to that second week, you might be feeling pretty good already.
Wasn't it Dallas versus the Raiders on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
and the year before it was Washington. Yeah, year before Washington beat Dallas, and so I mean, Dallas has not been a strong Thanksgiving team so far in the Survivor, and I don't know. I've heard people just curse out the Cowboys for losing on Thanksgiving 2 years in a row when they had them in Survivor. So we'll see if they if you make it that far. You just don't want to get burned by a team like that. That's like the worst thing, because I mean, getting to Thanksgiving is really a tough chore. You kind of get through that, and then you have to come back and make a pick for Sunday, and then you get through that, and then you're basically in December in the final stretch. So yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, and there's limited plays there. I mean, you got the Lions too normally on Thanksgiving, and I think we had one guy pick the Lions last year, surprisingly. And that didn't work out too well, but it was closer than we thought. But yeah, Billy Chippis, our Survivor winner, he actually had the Bears, and I mean, I'm sure that was a lot closer than he anticipated.
Yeah, the Buffalo was a play, but Chippis got by, and once he got by, it was smooth sailing for him at least. The Christmas week was a big week too. I think the Cardinals was one of those games. I can't remember.
Yeah, the Cardinals played the Colts. They lost to the Colts. We had a guy go out back-to-back weeks with the Cardinals. He had 2 entries that late in the contest, and he lost with the Cardinals at the Lions. The Lions blew them away, and then turned around and then had the Cardinals at home against the Colts and lost. So he lost those 2 entries in 2 weeks. And I mean, to have 2 entries at that point is remarkable, but then to go out with and have them lose with the same team like that, I felt really bad for him.
No, I do too. Hey, tell us a little bit about William Hill. They have the college contest, correct? And I think it's the biggest one so far that we have in college. And I mean, what's changed in that one?
Yeah, nothing's really changed. So it's a 10-week contest. It starts in week 1 of the NFL, which is that September 10th. So you got to sign up before then. It's 10 weeks, 8 picks a week against the spread. They're all Saturday games you have to choose from. There's about a slate of at least 30 that you can choose from. And then there is a guaranteed prize pool in that, unlike the Golden Nugget. So again, it's similar to Circa in that you have the potential for a pretty big overlay, which was what happened last year. They guaranteed $1 million last year, and it ended up being like an overlay of about 500,000, maybe a little bit more than that. This year they cut the prize pool in half, but it's still guaranteed money. So first place is going to get 250,000, which is still pretty awesome. They were at 63 entries as of yesterday, so they got to get up to 500 to avoid that overlay. But yeah, the Nugget is at about 40 entries. So these college contests, they're having just trouble competing with the big boys with the NFL, because and a lot of people have called for, why can't Circa or the Westgate do a college contest? A college contest is very difficult to do just because of all the lines you have to set. There's so many games you have to pick and choose. That's why William Hill just decided to do just the Saturday games. Yeah, it's a chore to do these contests, and the sports books really, outside of marketing for their casinos, for their books, they're not getting anything out of this. So they're not taking a rake, and to put that much work into a college contest. I mean, Will Hill and the Nugget are doing the best they can to try to do it, and you kind of see what the entries are like right now. Hopefully those will tick up before week 1 of the contest.
I can see before the apps how it would draw people to come in to make their plays. then the apps, people can do it from home. They just got to go there once, and that's why we have guys like you for away from Nevada, of course, that do it for us all. But at least I think it still gives them advertising. So you gotta.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Circa Sportsbook, I think the contest definitely put them on the map. And Derek being a gambler and being able to go into his pocket and try to get this guaranteed money out there. And keep in mind too, the Circa Sports Million went up from $4 million in guaranteed money to $6 million this year. So there's $12 million in total guaranteed money this year. And this is coming off the Survivor last year, where he had to eat $2 million basically with that overlay in the Survivor contest. So he's looking at a similar thing this year with the Circa Sports Million, unless they can get to the 6,000 entries, which is going to be really tough, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So what is the overlays now? And I can just go to it myself. I have it open. It looks like total entries so far in the Survivor, 1,247. Is that right?
That's for the million. Yeah, the million. The Survivor is closer to 1,800. It's probably over 1,800 now. But yeah, that still puts a massive overlay, because you got to hit 6,000 entries to avoid coming out of pocket on that. So for Derek anyway. So the goal is for him is to get to 6,000 entries in each contest. Otherwise, the sports book is losing money on that. So like again, last year he came out of pocket over $2 million, really, because of the bonus was paid out at the end as well. The extra $1 million to 3 different people. They split $1 million. So yeah, I mean, it's high numbers to shoot for. It's very interesting though, because the Circa Sports Million was a stronger contest last year, and Derek had thought the Survivor would pick up steam. And I think once everyone saw these guys cashing $1 million checks, 5 people cashing checks of over $1 million, they were like, I got to get in on that. It's a lot different to cash $1 million check compared to $70,000. So now that's why you're seeing people max out the entries. You can do up to 6 Survivor entries, up to 3 million entries. And so that difference, being able to double the amount of entries you can have in Survivor, is really why you're seeing like an early difference of about 500 entries, 500 more entries for Survivor than the million so far. And those trends should continue.
The million says 3 max, right?
Yeah, the million is 3. But okay. Yeah, the fact that you can do twice as many entries in the Survivor, that's going to basically push that contest over the 6,000. I mean, they're projecting over 7,000, maybe come close to 8,000 entries, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I thought you said 5. So on the website, they have a mistake on the website. It says overlay of 1.75 million. It's actually 4.75 million here, because it's a 6 million guarantee, and there's only 1,247 here. So we'll have to tell Derek, hey man, fix this website issue here. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure out the math on that. But yeah, I mean it.
Well, you look at Survivor, it's 1,748 entries and
oh yeah, that's correct, right? Yeah, they're the same. They're the same. They might just be going with some older info or something like that. But
something actually messed up there. But there is a 4.7 million overlay, and there's a chance, like you said, you don't think that millions is going to get there, and you think that Survivor is going to go over. So
absolutely, that means everything's trending in that direction. So that's most likely going to be the case. But I mean, with the Survivor, it gets to 7,000 entries. That's $7 million all goes back to the player. So it's 100% payback. Same thing with the million. If they need to get to that number, and any overage actually goes back into the quarters and stuff like that. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I do think it's going to be a stretch for them to get even to 5,000 entries in the million. But we'll see. I mean, we're doing our best to try to get the word out and let people know. But I think the last couple of weeks, the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be a huge push. I mean, you're going to see these entries double and triple probably.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I'll be there to see it next weekend. It's going to be a fun time, and can't wait to see all the people getting in this exciting time. Last question here. What if your clients miss their entry? What do you do for them?
Well, we'll go all out to get in touch with them. First of all, we'll call them, text them, email them. And if we don't have any picks from them, we'll just put some random picks in there. The cool thing about the kiosk is that you can hit a magical button. It's called like the Quick Five or Pick Five, something like that. And it'll just randomly pick 5 picks for you on its own. So we just we save the cards that we don't have till the end. We'll try to reach out to everybody. And if we don't get a hold of them, we'll just put those random picks in. It worked well for one of our clients in the Super Contest last year. He missed a couple weeks because he was on vacation. And we put random picks in for him, went 9-1. He came back. We let him know that he had a chance to win one of the 3-week contests, and he made picks for the 3rd week in the contest and went 4-1. So he ended up going 13-2 and took home over $26,000. So that's a nice little perk from
that
us.
guy did not deserve it. He did not deserve to win that. Dang it.
I know some people might be upset that we do that for our clients, but you know what? It's kind of the luck of the draw. I mean, there's no guarantee. We could have gone 1-9 just the same. We're just hitting a button, and sometimes it's going to work out. Sometimes it doesn't.
It's part of your service. He paid for your service.
Yeah, it's part of our service. We do that for everyone that we don't get picks for, and that list grows as the contest goes on. As you know, I mean, especially like if people don't think they have any chance at the booby prize in the quarter or one of the other quarterly prizes, they just basically will sit out. There's a lot of that going on in the contest, but the more in-season stuff they do, the more engaged the players should be. So it's been a little better the last couple of years, but hopefully this year will be even better, especially in the Super Contest with all the different ways you can win money.
Awesome. No, I think it will too. And Thursdays when the numbers come out around, I think noon Eastern.
For Circa, yeah, the Circa they come out at 1 Eastern time,
and
10 a.m.
Pacific. Westgate's Wednesday.
Wednesday late afternoon Pacific time they come out. So, and that's part of the thing with our service. You can log into our website and we'll have all the lines preloaded for you, or not. I shouldn't say preloaded, but as soon as they come out, we'll make sure that they're on there, so you don't have to try to find out where they are or anything like that. They're all locked and loaded for you to make your picks, and we try to make it as easy as possible for you. So that's our goal. We want to make it stress-free and just let you pick the winners.
Absolutely, and that is wonderful. So, what time are the entries due at for each contest?
Our deadlines, we have a 1 p.m. Pacific time deadline for Circa on Saturday and Friday. We do offer a cheaper service for those people who already have their picks made up. Sometimes when the lines come out, they know exactly what they want. We offer them a little cheaper option for that proxy service. So we offer like 1 p.m. Pacific time on Friday and Saturday. And then for the Super Contest, it's 4 p.m. Pacific time on Friday and Saturday. So that's basically, we're known to have like the latest deadlines in the industry. And we try to give you as long as you can to make your picks before crunch time hits us and we got to get everything in.
Yeah. Because I think it's only like an hour after or something when they're due.
It's a few hours. We actually got Circa to bump back the deadline an extra hour this year. So because they want us to try to get as many entries signed up as possible. So we said, hey, can you give us a break and try to bump the deadline that we need to have them in an hour? And they obliged. So we're all trying to work together to get these contests built up and get the most entries possible.
Awesome, man. Where could our listeners get your great information to sign up for these massive contests?
Footballcontest.com. That's all you need to know. Just go there. You can set up an appointment to meet us at the sports book when you're coming to town. Just shoot us an email. Prepay online, so you can keep the cash in your pocket when you're in Vegas if you want. You can pay in person as well. So we've got all kinds of different options, and you'll find everything you need to know at footballcontest.com. Breakdowns of each contest that we proxy for, and they're all $1,000 entry fees, which makes it pretty easy as well.
Get to footballcontest.com. Go visit Vegas Matty and Tony. Make sure you tell them the Odds Breakers sent you. Matty, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure. We'll see you very soon.